Dude, they should have an app for Ethan Hawke. Like,
Dude, every celebrity should just have their own app.
I do really like Ethan Hawke.
I feel like the Ethan Hawke app would do better than the Jeremy Renner app.
I think we should give Ethan Hawke an Oscar, actually.
What if Ethan Hawke's listening? Wasn't he nominated for it?
He was for Blue Man, yeah. Ethan Hawke,
that's right.
If you're listening...
That's a fake movie.
Oh, that's not nice.
I love your work.
Yeah, your work's good. It is really good. I enjoy
Ethan Hawke took the time to listen to our podcast, and that's all you have to say?
No, I love Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hawke, I love Before Sunset. That's my favorite Ethan Hawke movie. So shout out, thank you. And
of course, this is my favorite Ethan Hawke movie.
This is one of our it's like our top
actually,
4.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There's actually a theory that some people, I mean, this is a very loose theory, and it's kind of just a thing that people like say for fun. But there is a theory that people say. Have you guys seen Perks of Being a Wallflower?
Yeah. No.
What?
No.
Really?
No, I haven't seen
That's like, I feel like, okay.
Damn,
I should recommend that. That's one of my favorite movies.
Okay.
That's actually kind of like a real movie. That's not even like an Avery Cover movie.
I've been meaning to watch it.
Because
Ezra Miller's in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's this whole theory with Todd. What's his last name? I'm forgetting.
Is that Ethan Hawke?
Todd. Yeah.
Okay.
Todd Anderson.
A lot of people think because the teacher in Perks of Being a Wallflower is Mr. like Anderson, and a lot of people see it as like Todd, but like older as a teacher and stuff. And I like that theory. I think that's a nice theory because they do.
Who plays him in that movie?
Paul Rudd.
Oh.
Okay.
I can't see Ethan Hawke growing into Paul Rudd. I just don't see it.
I didn't even realize that was Ethan Hawke.
You didn't realize? Yeah.
Because like,
this is
I don't
like
think I've ever. Honest to God,
movie.
what else is he in? I don't think I've ever seen.
Gattaca.
Haven't seen Boyhood, the movie Boyhood, First Reformed. That's a good movie.
That's a real fucking movie.
The gay cowboy movie with Pedro Pascal.
Right. Isn't that a short?
He's in Quiz Show? Oh,
I think
everyone's in fuck. I want to watch Quiz Show so bad.
Quiz Show's really good.
Everyone's in Quiz Show.
Anyways. Welcome back to Reeled In. I'm Sam.
I'm Asman.
I'm Alex.
And I'm Avery.
This is a podcast where 3 film buffs try to reel in their non-film buff friend into their world of cinema, and she tries to do the same. The friend in question, of course, being Avery.
Hello.
That's
not Avery.
Yeah. Don't be fools. Yeah. That was actually Alex.
I was welcoming you as if you were like
he was doing a little switcheroo like thing.
Yeah, guys, I don't know if you couldn't tell, but like that was an imposter.
Me.
That was an Avery.
That was a.
Yeah. There's some people that say, like, I've had people say that we sound too similar.
Do we? Well,
where, like, they can't tell the difference.
We gotta...
The 2 girls on the podcast sound the exact same.
We gotta switch up our...
Yeah, I gotta be
I don't
like
know what people do when we have, like, a third woman guest on the podcast.
Yeah.
They must be just, like, losing their
There's too many women on here.
Guest. Her name's Bren. You mean
when
Sam?
Are they gonna add a third man to Reeled In?
That's true. We've never had it, like, yeah.
That's true.
When Amara comes on.
That's true. When Amara... I'll just talk in an accent.
Southern
so people
accent.
can... I'm not doing that.
Did that make you sound more like a man? Is that what you were doing?
No, so that they can differentiate Sam.
Okay.
What's your manly voice? What's your manly voice?
Hey.
No.
What's up?
That's pretty good.
What's up, bruh?
What's up, bro?
That is true.
See, they still won't be able to tell the difference between us because we're just too manly. We're too manly. Yeah. They're like, dude, who did they replace this one?
Dab me up, brother. Boom.
The testosterone-fueled Reeled In podcast.
I mean, we have to
Let's
go! The two films that we're covering today are very male-dominant casts.
But yeah,
There's a lot of men in both of these movies.
Yeah,
lots of men, but both movies beloved by like more of a female audience, surprisingly, like Dead Poet Society.
I mean,
and you love
Dead
McFarland
Poet
USA,
Society.
so there you go.
You're
the one female.
Avery speaks for all women.
I feel like there's a specific like I want to get into this more, but I feel like there's a specific reason why Dead Poet Society resonates with a lot of women, despite its very male there's only a few women in the honestly, Dead Poet Society probably doesn't pass the Bechdel test.
No.
But
we're talking about Dead Poet Society and McFarland USA today. We didn't even say that.
Yeah, I was going to, but then but yeah. those
Dead
are
Poet
the films.
Society is Sam's recommendation.
Of course.
McFarland USA is Avery's
Yeah.
recommendation.
And yeah, Dead Poet Society is
You
my
sound like you want to kill yourself. You're like, all right.
Yeah, let's just get through this,
Anyway.
man.
Dead
Also,
Poet-
this is the second Peter Weir film we're covering
It is.
on the
That's
podcast.
true.
He's one of like
Mhm.
3 directors that we've done twice.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
crazy.
He
What else
did
did he
the
do?
Truman
He
Show.
did the Truman Show.
Which
you
going back to
enjoyed.
episode 2 of Reeled In.
Wow.
Crazy.
Throwback.
So,
So-
it's now him, PTA,
Yeah.
who we did Phantom Thread and One Battle.
Action.
Yeah.
And then there's one, Josh Safdie, who did Uncut Gems and then Murder
Oh,
City.
Right.
Yeah.
PTA, I will say, we stop ourselves from doing more PTA movies. I feel like it'll
Even though we could do another
like
one.
Boogie
but
Nights, and these films keep coming up in conversation. But
We're giving him a break. For
Yeah.
now. And maybe one day we'll do another Peter Weir film because I do like him.
Yeah. And I mean, it's funny because I feel like we're slowly.
what do you mean who? We
I-
just
Sorry,
said
no.
She's not listening to us.
It's funny because I feel like we're slowly. I mean, these are my recommendations, so it's me who's choosing them. But this is the third out of my top 4 on Letterboxd that we've covered on the podcast.
Damn.
Yeah.
With A Silent Voice and Society of the Snow.
I mean-
This is also in my top 4.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
for Alex, we've had The Apartment and Amadeus.
Yeah.
True.
For me, we've had Phantom Thread and The Truman Show, which is up there.
Oh, yeah.
And, well, one of them's Twin Peaks, which you can't really do.
No.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Same for me.
Yeah.
We're,
And
we're
then-
never gonna.
And
do
for
that.
Avery, I mean, you have
We've covered
Good
most
Burger.
of them.
You have
Which I did make you two watch.
all right. So
Yeah.
Good. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Well,
We have
that's yeah.
Uptown Girls and Blades of Glory.
What's the
Yeah.
4th one?
Friday Night Lights. Which
Right.
I almost
We'll do
made
that
you
at some
guys
point.
watch this time. I was flipping between the 2.
We'll do it.
I'm
I'm
sometime.
sure they're the same movie. We could just
But-
talk about
and I
that.
feel like-
No, they're
It
different.
probably
I
is.
feel
They're
like these
more-
two complement each other pretty well.
They do.
But starting with Dead Poet Society, this is one of my
Yes.
favorite films of all time. I watched this a while ago when I feel like it's like a rite of passage for any anybody who loves
Who's
movies,
an
but also
English
loves
major.
any English major,
Yeah.
honestly.
That's true.
It's very much like if you look at any English major and they have Letterboxd, they probably have Dead Poet Society
Yeah.
pretty up there.
Like it's like the academia movie.
Yeah,
with that setting.
exactly.
That sort of thing.
But I really love the movie. Avery, did you want to give us like a
Yes.
summary or
Oh.
your expectations?
Here
Sorry.
were my expectations. So I thought that Dead Poet Society, I got excited because I thought Dead Poet Society was Good Will Hunting. And
I get those two confused all the time.
I thought I wanted to watch Good Will Hunting, so I was like, oh, yay!
Oh,
And then
yeah.
it wasn't. I was like, oh.
Well, they both have
But-
Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're
And
like similar
I feel
titles.
like
Like they roll
Ethan-
off the tongue in the same kind of way.
Yeah.
I always get them mixed up.
And Ethan Hawke kind of looks like Matt Damon in this. Or is it just me? No,
I
I mean,
see it.
Sure, yeah.
kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I see it.
Anyways.
I
They
think
have the
Ethan
same
Hawke
type
is
of hair.
more- Ethan Hawke is more long.
Yeah.
You know, he's like
Sure.
he's Bert to Matt Damon's Ernie.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Sure.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, that was my only expectation.
Well, I mean, I
That's
honestly
fair.
kind of get that because I feel like a lot of people kind of put. I mean, maybe it's just because it's Robin Williams again, but I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of people put
Similar
those two and like the same vibes.
Yeah.
Where
Even
it's like
though
a
they're
male,
really
like
different
mentor.
movies, though.
Yeah, but
Anyways.
did you want to
Okay,
summarize?
summarize.
the film?
Basically, it's a movie about a group of boys, and they go to this all-boys high school, private school,
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
like that. And they have a teacher. We just said his name, Robin Williams, who's their English
Keating.
teacher.
Keating.
Mr. Keating.
Yeah, who's their English teacher or English teacher?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And he has a more unique, I guess, approach to teaching the boys. And then one day they kind of find his like graduation thingy,
Yearbook, yeah.
thing, and it's like, oh, member of Dead Poet Society. So they're like, oh, captain, my captain, what is this? And he's like, we would go in the
Don't
forest.
say that.
Because he tells them to call him okay.
Yeah. So then he's like, oh, we would go to this cave and we would read poetry to each other. So then the boys,
As all men do.
as all men do. So then the boys then go do that, and then you kind of throughout the movie, each boy has like their own sort of conflict or struggle that they go through, and then yeah.
I feel like you're
That's
missing
the
like a
coming of
big part of
age.
like the ending.
Do you want
we'll
me to
get to
spoil
the ending
it?
at
I
some
feel like
point.
that's
I guess. That's
well,
true.
one guy like shoots himself.
Okay, well, that's not. I was like,
Is that what you wanted me to
We'll
say?
get to that.
Like, I feel like
But
it's
yeah,
a brief.
all of
and
them
then-
have struggles, and they reach some sort of conclusion by
Yeah.
the end.
Yeah.
And it's like they use this poetry and like, you know, they go against what the school has been telling them about, like, you know, kind of like how, you know, like a lot of them, their parents brought them in there to be like doctors or like lawyers or like really, you know, that type of like, you know, important quote unquote jobs that are like, you know, the best of the best. Like it's like, oh, you know, you'll be set for life, you know, this is what you need to do. But Professor Keating, he's like, you know, like he literally makes them rip out the pages of their poetry book and says like, you know, we don't have any rules here. Like this is about you guys, you know, this is about
what you want to do, choosing your own path,
exactly,
your own journey.
and being like vulnerable. Like there is something about like, you know, the fact that they're all going into this cave in like this small space and just like, you know, sharing poetry, which is so like emotional and like personal, that I really like. And we had mentioned this beforehand when I had mentioned the movies, but like this film is it the top film for
It's one of the top 4 favorited movies on Letterboxd by women.
By women, yeah.
What are the other ones?
I don't know, but
Interstellar, which is there.
Really?
For
I don't think. I think Interstellar is just like the most favorited movie.
There's like, I think Before Sunrise 2 is up there.
I don't know, but this
La
one is
La
up there.
Land 2, which is also in my top 4. But it's
you are indeed a woman, then.
I am a woman, yeah.
You meet the criteria.
But it's like when you look at this like kind of on a surface level, it's like, oh, this is like a film that has predominantly men. Like I said, it probably doesn't pass the Bechdel test. It's very much about, I guess, male experience, quote unquote. So why would women resonate with it so much?
Yeah.
But I wanted to bring this up. This is maybe a bit like going straight into it, but I have a class where we've been kind of, bear with me for a moment. We've been talking about fan fiction a lot.
Okay.
And we've also just been talking about like fan audiences and stuff. And like we brought up how, you know, in a lot of these, like, you know, there's a lot of fan fiction made, or like these specific stories that have predominantly men, or like, you know, these gay stories, like MLM stories that are like two men who are in love with each other, and they have predominantly female audiences that are like, yes, we love that. And it's like, why is that? Like, why do they see that? But when I was talking with like my classmates and like the prof and stuff, it is interesting how this kind of personal like battle with the patriarchy doesn't necessarily just apply to women. It's also to men too. Like, I feel like women resonate most with it because it deals so much with like kind of the like oppressive nature of the patriarchy for everybody, not just women. And it's something that maybe women are more used to because it more directly affects them compared to, you know, men who might watch this and be like, oh, like, I don't really resonate. So I think that's why one of the reasons why it has such a big like female audience. But I think it's also just because, you know, it's a very like vulnerable film. Like it you know, like I said, like, you know, sitting in the cave sharing poetry, that's not something you'd see many men like doing. And so maybe that's why women are like, you know, they appreciate that vulnerability and like emotional nature.
I would say
more.
it was like refreshing to see, because I haven't seen many films like this in the sense of it's like a group of guys and they're like coming of age movies. Like I just haven't seen many
That's
like that.
It's interesting you say that, because I was thinking this feels very similar to a lot of the sports movies you
But
make us
that's
watch, but about
different.
poetry instead.
Yes, it's different.
Like this movie, it feels
vibes.
kind of like a Coach Carter type movie, but about
To a
poetry.
degree.
It's
but
different
it's
because they're
more-
reading like poetry. It's like softer and more like
yes,
emotional
it's like a
and
soft.
vulnerable,
Yes,
you know?
it's not like hard.
that's
you know
exactly.
So yeah, sorry.
It's like I feel like these sports movies, they have a tendency to be like there's power in like, you know, fighting and like, you know, having this strength, whereas this is kind of there's power in like softening a bit and like becoming more vulnerable and like, you know, learning from each other and stuff.
Which was refreshing to see, because I haven't seen many things like, even like small things like I got the part, and they're all like cheering for the
Yeah.
guy, or when the one guy, I forget his name, is like, I just saw the most beautiful girl in my life. I was just like, oh, muffin.
Yeah, that is
So,
nice.
and it's something that, like, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I don't, like, it's not like, obviously I do have guy friends and other guy friends, but it's like something like, I feel like, I don't know. There's like a level of vulnerability I feel like guys go to. You know what I'm trying to say here?
That's
That
fair.
it's like, I feel like in this movie you kind of see a whole other level, at least for
Even
me.
in a
I
lot
don't
of
know what's
movies
like
set
for-
in like a dorm room, like there's more like kind of like abuse going on maybe, or like they're being dicks to each other.
Mhm.
But in this movie, like the guy
There's
comes
a
in, he's like, I got the
brotherhood.
part, and they're all like, yeah, fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
they're just like all like nice to each
Yeah,
other.
no, I
Yeah,
mean
it's
it's
really
really nice
refreshing.
seeing that bond between like male friends and so. I mean, like from personal experience, like in my life, I haven't had many friendships which are like that and like are that emotionally open or like vulnerable in that sense. Just me
You can be
personally.
vulnerable here on the
No,
Yeah.
I know. I'm
We're
just saying, like,
here
I'm
for
just saying,
you.
I personally haven't had that many,
can be
but I know
bros.
that these relationships do exist.
If
Because
you get a part in the school play, I'll support you.
but no, I do know that these relationships do exist, and it's nice seeing them displayed in such a way.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, on the topic of favorite films about like women and all, the top 5 favorite films on Letterboxd by women are Dead Poet Society,
Yeah.
La La Land,
Mhm.
Little Women,
Oh, of course.
Okay.
10 Things I Hate About You,
Okay.
Yeah.
and
that-
Pride and Prejudice. Now, the top 5 favorited by guys.
Oh,
Here, listen to
no.
this, okay?
Fight Club.
No, the number one.
Joker.
Number 1, Interstellar.
Okay, yeah.
Also, I need to mention Dead Poet Society is not even in the top 20 for guys.
That's
Yeah.
kind of crazy.
Interstellar, La La Land, number 2,
Hmm.
Whiplash, number 3,
Okay.
Fight Club, number 4.
Oh my god.
And then we have The Dark Knight, number 5.
Fucking man.
We do have Good Will Hunting at number 6, if that counts. Oh, we also have Revenge of the Sith.
Let's go! Let's go!
Fuck, man.
No.
You know,
of
it's
bad
all
taste.
just really, Goodfellas, Batman.
Manly man.
Lord of the Rings, 7, where those types of movies. Pulp Fiction's everywhere for some reason, but
Fiction's a good movie.
it's
But
not
yeah.
on the women's list, which is, I respect that.
Maybe women have better taste.
They do, I
after
think,
Yeah.
according to this, I think they do.
Yep, it's true. But it's
Black
like, yeah, like
Swan,
I feel like part of the reason why it doesn't show up on the males list is because it is very vulnerable. It's almost like vulnerable to even like put that out there and be like, hey, this is one of my favorite films,
But I wouldn't say that, a guy watching the movie is going to dismiss it because, like, oh my god, it's too vulnerable, it's
No.
too open. I think it's just that women resonate with it, like, more than a guy.
Yeah.
I think that's,
Like,
what it
I
is.
It's
think-
weird to think about if you think about it.
But, like, I can imagine this being the kind of movie that, like, specifically right-wing men would kind of co-opt and be like, oh, it's about men going their
Right,
own way
right.
and, like, fuck education and, you have to, think for yourself. But it hasn't, like, been adopted by that crowd, which I think is really interesting. It's been adopted by women more.
Because I think the whole, like, right wing, like, they miss out on, like, the emotion or, like, the openness of the movie, right? Because it goes beyond than just, like, oh, fuck the school, we have to do our, like, rebel and stuff like that. It's more like, we're connecting with each other. And, I feel like there is, like, a disconnect between that audience and the movie in that sense, I think, in a more emotional way.
I think it's also like men don't really like. I mean, you had said like you don't have too many friendships that are like that are very like
but that doesn't
emotionally-
like play a part into my experience with the
no,
movie.
absolutely. But I feel like maybe the reason why there's less men who do that because women tend to have more relationships that are like that, to have more relationships that are open, and it's not necessarily that it's a bad thing to not have that, but it's just because of the patriarchy and the kind of way that like these roles and like what it is to like have two men be friends compared to two women who are friends. There are some sort of like structures put in place that make it more quote unquote socially acceptable to like be like two women being vulnerable with each other than two men being vulnerable with each other.
Yeah.
And so it's less of like a thing that people are like, oh, this is disgusting, I hate this, like I don't know, but it's less like I just don't relate to that because I haven't had any friendships like that because it's more normalized for women.
And like, I don't want to like, it's hard to say this without sounding.
You can come to me.
No, but no, the thing is like, I don't mean it. I don't mean it in like a corny or like a sad way. But it's just like there is just this like social construct, and just by birth, I guess, like, or not by birth, but like you just know it. Like even as like a younger guy, that like people make fun of this type of thing when you're like in middle school. Like, oh my god, women are crying to each other. They're like, oh, talking about this and that. And like, guys don't do that. Guys are like,
Right, yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not necessarily that you're like, oh, I don't relate to this, that's sad. But it's just because you've grown up that way. And that's just been like it. You just don't relate to it in the same way. As much as it is being like, hey, it's okay to be vulnerable. You're not necessarily like mourning that, but it's just because that's how your friendships have been.
Like, if anything, for me at least, I feel like I've had more like emotionally like open relationships or friendships with like women rather than men. That's just that's just how it goes.
It's because of like these like gender roles. It's like, oh, women are the kind of emotional people, quote unquote. Like that's how it's associated. It's like men are like pragmatic and logical and stuff, whereas women are more emotional and like like that type of.
But it's like what you were saying, where like women are typically like put down in society for being emotional, but so are men because they're treated like they're being too feminine by showing emotion.
Exactly, and I feel like that's why some men wouldn't relate to this as much as this being like, hey, it's okay to be emotional. It's just, when you've spent your whole life kind of being like, oh, I haven't been very vulnerable with my friends, you don't relate to it in the same way. You can still appreciate it, but it makes it less likely for it to be like one of your absolute favorites compared to women who have so many friendships like that, at least in my experience, where it's like, I resonate with it a lot more because it's something that I find really important and like valuable in my life.
Also, I respect that the movie doesn't do like a whole, like, it doesn't even point towards the fact that like what these guys are doing and the way they're like connecting with each other could be seen as feminine by a certain type of crowd. Like, they don't even like go down that path, which is cool. Like, they just kind of put it out there and it's like accepted as like a norm.
Right, there's more subtext of the movie. The fact that it's an all-boys school, like, it's definitely, like, masculinity is a theme, but it's never, like, the forefront.
Yeah,
They
and
never address masculinity specifically.
I kind of respect that. I think I like that approach to this type of story.
But yeah, so what did you guys think? What did you, how did you feel?
I was very happy when my king, Kurtwood Smith, was there.
Who?
Red on That 70s Show, starring Mila Kunis, the dad of Neil. He's bad.
The bad guy.
The bad
the evil guy.
But we love him in That 70s Show.
We don't love him in this movie.
We really don't.
No, but I was very happy when I saw him.
Okay.
That's
Did you like the movie?
I liked the movie.
You liked the movie?
Yeah. I did
like I had a feeling she'd like this is, you can't really hate this movie.
If you hate this movie, you're probably like a bad person. I don't know. Like, it's hard to hate this movie, I think. It's a very like,
Sorry, you guys can talk.
Alex, what did you think of the movie?
Well, this was my first time watching the movie.
Which is crazy,
really
by the way.
surprised.
I feel like this is like a film bro movie, though. Like,
well, as we just proved, it clearly isn't. It's like a film girly movie.
Yeah, Alex, you've seen,
as it should be.
Alex, you've seen over like, I don't know, 1,500 something movies.
Well, it's funny because not only is it one of like the highest rated, I guess, for women, but it's like one of the most viewed movies on Letterboxd in general. Yeah. And sometimes I'd look at like the most viewed movies on Letterboxd that I haven't seen, and this would always be like near the top. And so I guess I just kind of had an attitude about it of like, well, obviously it's such a popular movie, I have to get to it at some point. Like, eventually I'm gonna have to see this movie. And so it never was like a priority of I have to watch this now, because I know at some point I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
And it's this and Good Will Hunting. It's the same thing. Both of those are really popular on Letterboxd. I haven't seen that one either.
Oh.
A lot of those like really popular.
Do you hate
ones,
movies about men being vulnerable?
Is that what Good Will Hunting's about?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Well, I haven't seen that, so I don't know.
Alex,
I just haven't gone around.
Like, the whole movie is like Matt Damon's like this tough guy, and Robin Williams like breaks down the walls. He's like, hey, it's okay.
Aww.
I'm just more like excited to see
The Dark Knight.
I'm more excited to see Interstellar for the 20th time.
when it's a movie that like I'm just discovering for the first time.
Yeah,
like, oh, I want to check
it's like
that
I want to
out.
jump on this right now.
That's why I haven't seen
something that you know for sure is probably going to be
like
good.
You haven't seen The Shawshank Redemption,
right?
That's the same thing.
And
like,
I don't want to watch
it. It's a good movie. It's a popular movie, but you don't have like an urgency to see it.
Right? Like, top movie on IMDb, whatever. Like,
like at some point you might get around to it, but it's not like, oh, I have to see that right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the only reason I haven't seen it. But I do like Peter Weir, so
What did you
like
think?
It though.
Yeah, do you like the movie?
I liked it.
Yeah, have you? How many other Peter Weir movies have you seen? Like,
who's Peter Weir?
Truman Show.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Oh my god. He's just some guy that we just.
How do you think this compares to like the Truman Show for you, or like?
I like the Truman Show more.
I kind of expected that.
I mean, I like it a lot more. Like
the Truman Show.
I gave the Truman Show a 10.
Good.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert: I'm not giving this movie a 10.
I didn't think you would, but
I
mean, well, I was gonna like predict your rating, but we'll see.
Wait,
later.
okay, Avery, do you like this movie more than the Truman Show?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Whoa,
You gave the Truman
and you
Show.
really liked Truman Show.
I really like the Truman Show.
Oh yeah.
Well, you gave the Truman Show like an 8, a 9,
8 or a 9,
something like that.
So is this like? Whoa!
I am actually excited.
Day 2.
Anytime Avery likes my recommendations,
I like Sam. I like your movies the best of
That's
the
true.
3. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think there's one except for Society of the Snow, but
well, that's for a
that's
different,
for a different reason.
I like
Other
all the
than
movies you
that-
recommend, except for your favorite movie of all time. I don't know
That
about
is
that
my
one.
This is in the top 4.
What is it?
I like
A Silent Voice?
Yeah, that one
Yeah.
was good.
What else
I
did you
The Fly was good. I liked that.
That's true.
Arrival.
Arrival was very good.
Right, all of your
Uh,
favorite movies on the podcast
I'm from
have been.
Sam.
Yeah.
Yep, guys, I'm
we
just
need-
crazy like
Sam
that.
should just recommend. all
What,
the
you don't
movies.
like
Yeah.
Eyes Wide Shut?
Can we just make
think
this?
I was gonna like Eyes Wide Shut.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Oh god, this should just be the Sam and Avery show.
It should be hashtag
Yeah.
Samory.
But no, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, stay tuned for Avery's rating. And we'll be back after this commercial break.
God.
We have an ad playing.
Yeah. Anyways, one thing I do want to say about this film that is kind of separate from everything, but that is just something that I appreciate, are just the vibes. It's very like fall. Like I love the fall feeling. I mean, it's set in fall, but it's like just the warm colors and like, you know.
It's a bit set at winter too.
Yeah. And the winter.
Yeah, like, October, November, that type of.
Which is my favorite
Snow.
time of year, honestly. So like anytime I watch
Really?
this movie, yeah, I really like fall into early winter. That's my favorite time
I like
of year.
fall.
It's a very pretty film,
I think
and I
fall
just love
is-
the
yeah.
atmosphere of it. I love the scenes where they're just kind of like messing around and like doing stuff together, the group of guys.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
See, I was less interested in the guys kind of on their own, and I like the classroom stuff with Robin Williams. than
I-
I like
that's-
that more too.
You're
Yeah.
so right. I do like
Yeah.
those.
This
I
movie
just love
needs
this
more
movie.
Robin Williams. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I feel like there should have been more Robin Williams.
Kind of does.
He's
there.
amazing.
He's so good in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think my favorite scene is when they're outside doing the like walking thing, and that was like
Oh,
a
yeah.
metaphor to how you all like
Mhm.
should go your own way. I really like that.
I really like I think it's the
And the
first
ending scene.
class that they have with him when he brings them out to the hall where there's all the photos of like the alumni,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
and he's like lean in to hear what they're saying and stuff. I like that scene.
Yeah.
I do. I will say. I wish. I guess it doesn't matter. Actually, never mind. I was gonna say it'd be cool to like have more of like know more about Robin Williams' character, but I guess it is like from
No.
the perspective of the student. So it
I don't
want to
know more about him.
No.
Yeah.
No, I'd like maybe more scenes in the classroom, but I don't want to know
I mean,
more
you do
backstory.
learn about him. He said he was like a troublemaker. He went to that
Yeah,
school.
you learn exactly
learn-
enough to make the movie
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm just saying that because I wanted to see more Robin Williams.
That's fair. Yeah, I think
He does kind
Yeah.
of disappear for the third act,
Right,
Which
yeah.
makes sense story-wise, but like I would have liked one good scene
No,
of
he
him.
doesn't. Does he?
Once like they start moving to get rid of him, you kind of don't see him until the very end.
that's true.
And I would have liked one more scene of him kind of responding to what people are saying about him.
Yeah.
And kind of getting a sense of how he feels about it.
Okay.
Because you don't really get that until the final scene.
You don't get that, and I wish we got that, but I think for the story it works perfectly.
Yeah.
Like it is like the character he's playing, like from the perspective of these students, it's like the teacher, right? You don't always see the teacher. You don't really know what's
But
happening.
it's Robin Williams.
It is Robin
and
Williams.
he has top billing.
This is
I
true.
want to see more of him in the third act.
I think it's just because, I mean, like, the whole thing is like, oh, they're kind of scrambled. Like, I guess, because I feel like to add him in there, you would have to have a scene that's just him. Or, like, him talking with someone who's not a student. Because I feel like the whole thing about the fact that the students don't get a chance to talk to him at all until that final scene when, like, he's leaving, it gives
guess
more impact to it,
We
in
should
my
get
opinion.
that.
explain. So Neil, who's one of the, should we not explain?
No,
yeah,
yeah.
we can
Okay.
get into that
Neil
now.
So
Right.
Neil is a guy, and he wants to act in a play, but his parents disapprove, and then he acts in the play, but then his parents take him out of the school and say, you're going to military school for the next 10 years or whatnot. So then he shoots himself, And
I genuinely did not know about that before I saw the
Neither
movie.
did I.
I'm surprised I didn't know about that.
I thought he was gonna run away, not like kill himself.
Oh my god, okay, this reminds me. I had a completely different idea of the movie before I watched it. I was telling this to Sam. For some reason, I thought that the climax of the movie is that one of the characters is like gay and he can't really come out until he takes his own life. I don't know why I thought that.
I mean,
okay.
Neil and Todd.
Okay, we can talk about like the gay subtext of it, but like that's the thing I had in my mind.
But yeah, no, Neil was good. He was really good.
Right, that's the line.
He was really good. That's the line.
It's true.
But yeah, so he ends up
dead,
shooting himself. And the parents rush to blame
the teacher.
Yeah, Mr. Keating. Like they end up kicking Mr. Keating out. Until the final scene where, all the students are back in class with the new teacher.
I love that scene.
And Mr. Keating goes to grab his last few things, but right as he's about to end, Todd stands up on his desk and says,
which is a big moment, because he's very quiet and
he is
shy.
very quiet.
Right.
So he stands up for himself.
Yeah.
You go, Todd.
Ethan Hawke's so good in this movie.
He's really good. I really like the scene where he, what is it? He
rereads the poem.
Yeah, where Mr.
Like,
Keating asks him to yelp.
That's maybe my favorite.
It's
scene.
so good.
And he's like grabbing him, and the camera's spinning all around him. That's so good.
So good.
It's
such a well shot scene.
Yeah, it's just I feel like especially Neil and Todd, like their characters in this. I feel like the other members of the friend group like kind of fade in the background, which is fine to me. Like, I feel like we see them enough, but I feel like them, I really like both of their characters, and like
yeah, they're the two best ones.
Yeah, and like I love that scene when they're out on the kind of like, I don't know, they're outside
on his birthday.
And and then they throw the desk set.
One of my favorite like anecdotes about the making of this movie, and it kind of reflects the story in the movie well too, is this was one of Ethan Hawke's like first big roles. It was like his breakout role.
Right, he was in like a Joe Dante movie before this, but this is his first big one.
Yeah, and he on the set of the movie, he's like 18 years old. He's taking himself seriously, like, I'm like a serious actor and stuff. And Robin Williams, he's making everybody laugh on set because that's what he does. And Ethan Hawke's the one guy who just never laugh. And like that would really piss Robin Williams off. He was like, "No, you need to. I'm gonna make you laugh. We're not ending this like scene or this movie until you laugh." And so it kind of reflects the movie in some ways. I think that's kind of cool.
It's like just gotta keep pushing him out of his comfort zone.
This movie, it's such an obvious movie, and when you watch it, you're like, oh, I've seen this before, like this and that, like I've seen these dynamics before, I've seen this story be told before. But I think this movie does it really well. It's like the movie to do this story and like handle these characters in such a way, and because it does it so well, and because it's such an integral part of just film culture or whatever, you kind of, it's easy to look at it as like a cliche or like a whatever, that type of thing. But I think this movie, it does stand out. It does stand on its own, and it's really well done, I think.
It does.
I like School of Rock more. That's the same movie as this.
Yeah.
It's kind of
I
the same movie.
actually watched School of Rock like a week ago.
Yeah? What'd you think?
I liked it. It was fun.
It was
really
a
good time. Yeah.
It's a good movie.
It's like the fun, family-friendly version of this.
It is, yeah. No one kills himself in that one.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
I do enjoy this movie. And the whole, medicine and, math, engineering, whatever, like those are noble pursuits, but like art, the poetry is what keeps you going.
That quote is
that
like
quote,
the absolute definition of this film. It's like, we're not trying to undermine these things that are clearly very important to sustain life, but like, you can't live without having art. Like that's just, and it really, I feel like that even makes it even more heartbreaking when Neil ends up killing himself, because it's like that feels like the only thing he's able to do. He's like, this is all I can do. To him, it's like, sure, these things are like normal, but without art, I just can't live like this. Like that's his purpose to him.
It's such an on-the-nose, obvious message, but it works, and I think it's done well.
But I do like also that Robin Williams isn't even saying that you shouldn't pursue like math and engineering. He's just saying that you can do that, but more importantly than being like an engineer or something, you're a human,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah,
have
exactly.
to know how to be
Yeah.
a human,
Exactly.
and that's what he's teaching them.
Yeah,
you know?
that's exactly it. You know, like I feel like as somebody who, like, you know, has taken many classes, like actual classes about the arts, it's a very strange thing to kind of tackle, because it's like, how do you grade art, you know? And it's like, I really like that first scene where, like, you know, they pull out the entire textbook, because it feels like a class on art is a class on, like, humanity, like what you said. Like, it's like,
right,
you
the
kind of
chapter they
just
tear out is about like how to quantify what makes an objectively good poem,
Yeah.
Right.
like using some formula.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is bullshit, get rid of it.
Yeah, because it's like, you can't quantify that. You can't, like, decide what is good and what isn't. Like, you know, it's all, the entire beauty of art is that it's always up to interpretation, up to everybody to kind of decide what resonates with them. Nobody gets the same thing from a single piece of art. You can't decide this is objectively better than this.
I would
know?
like to read that section they tear out, because like I wonder what the criteria the person poses is, because
Well,
like
they kind of
They
explain it.
explain it on
Do
the
they?
bar graph thing. What is it? Importance.
What is it?
and,
Importance and just like prose and technical ability.
well,
Yeah.
importance, like as in like what? Like that's such a like vague thing.
politics. I don't know.
Yeah, whether it speaks to something important as opposed to being
Yeah.
about something kind of frivolous.
Yeah.
But like you need to define what's important when what's like
Well,
frivolous.
Yeah,
they
I
do,
think-
because that one kid writes like some bullshit poem about like a cat on a mat or something.
All right.
And everyone laughs at him, but Robin Williams is like, no, it's okay. Like, you can write about frivolous things because that's
Yeah.
kind of what life is also. It's your observation and feeling
Mhm.
about life.
Yeah.
So even though, like, you're not taking this seriously and you're making a joke out of it, like, there is an observation that
Mhm.
you can make there. And there's still some kind of poetry
Yeah.
within that you just have to let out.
And it's
Mhm.
like, I feel like poetry is such the perfect, like, I don't know, like thing to kind of focus on, because poetry, as much as it feels like it's very structured, it really isn't. Especially, like, you know, like you'll read like modern day poetry and be like, oh, is this even poetry? But I mean, that's the whole thing with poetry. It's very versatile. Like, you know, some of them have like rhyme schemes, some of them are like,
Right.
you know, open like that. Some of them have specific like meter and stuff. Some of them don't really care about that. You know, there's a bunch of different things that they're like, you know, these poems are talking about.
Yeah.
There's so many different forms, different ways of showing it. There's people who do like visual poetry that looks all weird on the page and that emphasizes something new. Like, it feels like it's something that's so overdone. Like, it's like, oh, it's like when, you know, like classes have like Shakespeare. It's like, oh, it's Shakespeare again, you know, oh, whatever. This is like objectively good. But it's like, it feels more structured and like specific than it really is, when in reality it's very,
you know,
like,
I will say I had
open.
some, you know, preconceived notions about poetry, because I didn't like read much poetry like on like a poetry book or anything, and I was like, oh, it has to like, you know, rhyme or whatever, it has to like do this specific
Yeah.
thing, but like it really doesn't. And in a way, even like the songs you listen to, like the lyrics of those songs are like poetry in
Yeah.
a way, and like, you know, the books you read and, you know, that sort
When
of thing.
you
So
say poetry, it feels a lot more sophisticated than it really
right,
is.
and it a lot of the time, a lot of like, you know, poetry that stands out to me, or that even stands out to you without you knowing, is not like structured like in the traditional sense, you know, like
Yeah.
it's
Because it's like those things, like, of course, as much as they do have meaning to it, they only have meaning if you can like understand it, I guess. So it's like, just because you don't know, you know, the specific meter, or like the specific, like, you know, pattern of like the rhyme scheme and stuff, doesn't necessarily mean that, like, you know, you're not going to understand the poem. Like, it's like,
Right.
it adds to it, but it's like, it's not structured in that way that like anybody can read anything and get something different out of it. Like, that's the beauty of everything.
And that's all art. If you see a
Yeah.
painting, you don't have to know the
Exactly.
specifics of like what kind of art movement it falls within. And
Yeah.
the
that adds
technique.
to
Like,
it. It's part of
absolutely.
It does,
yeah.
but like if it speaks to you regardless, then
Right.
that stuff doesn't
Exactly.
matter.
Exactly.
And it's
Yeah.
like, this is kind of going on a tangent, but like, you know, whenever I'm in a class and like, you know, we're talking about a specific poem, because I mean, I've taken so many classes where we just sit down, we look at a poem, we're like, hey, what do you guys think about it? I hate it when profs, when they ask, hey, how do you interpret this? Somebody says something and they're like, no, you're wrong. Because I have had profs that are like that. And I feel like that's sometimes the
You
issue
idiot.
with, like, you know, turning art into like, classes, because of course there is something of value of like, these classes about like poetry or like literature and stuff, or like different arts as well. But it's like the whole beauty of it is like, you can say, hey, how do you see this? Yeah. And they'll be like, oh, I see this like this. And you'll be like, whoa, I've never looked at it that way.
Unless you have a fundamental misunderstanding of something being represented, like, visually or whatever. Then,
like you just misinterpret like the specific words they're using or something.
But like there is always something like beautiful about the fact that, two of us could look at the same painting and see and understand it and like feel something completely different from it.
And I think like sometimes poetry and visual poetry as well, like sometimes goes beyond you understanding anything really. If it like invokes an emotion in you, which is kind of like, for me at least, it's like impossible to explain why certain things like evoke an emotion in you and some things don't. Yeah. Like that's not something I can like quantify or like explain really. Like,
not that,
I apologize for bringing this up, Avery, but like I think of like David Lynch's films, right? Like, and certain images make you feel something, and I couldn't tell you why, but like it makes you feel a certain way, and you can go into like the filmmaking of it, like, oh, the camera does this, they do that, but like something there does something.
Yeah.
And there's other movies that you might be like, on paper I should like this, but it's just not really exactly that kind of emotional response.
Sure. I feel like the thing that like I feel like most people can be like, oh, I completely understand that, is with music. Because like music, you really don't need to know the technicality of it, but like you will listen. Like there will be some songs where I'm like, I just love how the guitar sounds, and it's like it just invokes something in me. And there's like a specific part of a song that I'm like, oh, that part just hits. And somebody else will listen to it and be like, what are you talking about? And it's like, that's exactly what it is.
Music's
like,
great because, if you listen to music with other people, it's so interesting how other people like, bop their head to like different parts of the song. Like maybe you'll be grooving to like the drums. Other guy's going to be like, oh, I like the bass on this, or like the lead guitar. And like, it's really interesting what parts of the song stand out to people and what they're taking from those parts.
Yeah. And I feel like that can be applied to any art at all. Yeah. So.
Alex is laughing at me.
No, I'm just thinking of like the playlist you make and like me trying to explain why your songs don't work for me. It's like I don't have the vocabulary for this. I just know I'm not connecting with this.
That's fair. I feel like we've had this conversation too.
Well, why do you find yourself not being able to connect with Avery songs?
That's the thing.
Like what part? Like is it like the
what don't you like about
the lyrical aspects of it? The sound of it.
That's the thing. Is it's like I love music and I feel like I have a decent musical vocabulary, but not enough to really pinpoint why something doesn't work, except for just it doesn't speak to me. Okay. Not even like lyrically, but even just the sound of the music itself, just the vibe of it.
Because there's songs of yours that I'm just like, this isn't.
Right. And there's ones you like, and there's ones that you recommend that I like. Yeah. And sometimes you can't say like, this is why I like this one, but not this one, other than just vibes. Yeah. And it's the same with any other kind of art. Like I can't say why this specific painting speaks to me, it just does. And why does this one just do nothing for me? I don't have the vocabulary to explain that. I just know that's how I feel. Yeah. And
I don't think a vocabulary to explain these things like really even exists. Like you can go into the technicality of it, but
I feel like I have the vocabulary to explain that with film because I'm like a film major and I studied film.
Yeah, but then
if I studied poetry or if I studied music, I probably would have that vocabulary.
But how would you explain something just like making you feel something? Like how can you explain that? How can you say like, okay, this camera movement?
I feel like when we talked about like Blue Velvet, like a David Lynch movie, I think we explained why we connected with it well. Okay. We have the filmic vocabulary to explain that.
Sure, but I feel like there's some things which you just
we can talk about like the shot composition, the way he frames his images. Like, there's specific things we can point to, and maybe that doesn't fully get to it, but it can kind of put that into words.
Okay.
I understand, but I feel like I also have movies where like I can appreciate it for like its composition and like like I could use all of those like different terms and like have the vocabulary for it, but like sometimes it just doesn't work for me. Like it's like I can appreciate this as like a well-made film, but this just doesn't like resonate. I didn't really feel it.
Yeah.
So it's like sometimes like it's
just
you
can even explain why that's the case.
Actually,
there's like a formula to it. Like if you had like the same shot and same sort of thing, would that equal that response? Sometimes it
is an emotional response. Yeah. I'm just saying that if you have the vocabulary to explain what that response is, then you can kind of put that into words as opposed to just an abstract vibe.
That's fair.
No, you're right. Because I feel like this podcast, when we explain what we like and don't like about these films, we are doing just that. Of course, you can't get to like the exact heart of it, but like we get close.
You get like an impression of it.
Exactly.
Yeah. I feel like the kind of like smallest version of those is still kind of like an abstraction of it, because it's like if I said like, oh, this or like I like, even if I'm like, let's say I'm talking about like food or something, and it's like, oh, I really like this meal. Or like, oh, this meal doesn't really work for me. And it's like, say you're like, you know, you have the vocabulary, you're like a chef, you understand the different things. It's like, oh, I understand why I don't like this because I find it too salty.
Yeah.
But it's like, even then it's like, okay, but like, you know, everybody has these different tastes still. It's like somebody who finds this too salty, somebody else might find it just perfect.
Yeah.
So it's like you have better terminology to explain it, but at the end of the day, it is kind of like just this psychological thing.
It's about taking these abstract feelings and putting it into words that you can understand.
Exactly.
Yeah, and also now that you say that, I guess like everybody has like, you know, to their levels, to their extent, like a level of vocabulary to explain things. Like, you know, if we're eating, I guess, like, you know, a chef would have a more sophisticated way of saying something, where you could just be like, oh, I don't like how much like how this tastes like sour or something. You know, like you can like word things.
This isn't chicken nuggets.
Exactly. Like, they're not chicken tenders. I don't like them.
Yeah.
But okay, Dead Poets. I feel like there's more to say about this movie, like in terms of the plot, but like
I don't have much else to say.
We've just been talking about like the meaning of it. I do like a lot of the characters. I think they're great. I don't like that ginger-haired fuck who like.
I didn't mind him.
He snitches on the thing.
He's a smart kid. He's just trying to not cause trouble.
I was gonna say I don't like the guy that like sexually assaults that girl at the party.
Oh yeah,
I don't like the guy that like.
Who's that?
The guy who's like trying to get with like the.
I also don't like the guy who's like culturally appropriating like indigenous culture, but you know it's fine, I guess.
I feel like this is a weird
don't
to
like
end
that.
on.
Why we're doing this?
No, yeah, like
Anyways.
there's definitely some, especially with the kind of cultural appropriation. It's like, oh,
it's a bit.
It's a little icky. Wish that wasn't in the movie.
But it's like 1950s, all white, all male private school.
Yeah.
I guess you could justify it.
They're boys, you know. They're boys.
Boys being boys.
Yeah.
Boys being boys.
But like, I feel like, just, I mean, like I said, for me, it's really like Todd and
Neil
that really stand out, and
gay.
Yeah.
And gay.
They
the
are
character
kind of
gay.
They are very like.
They're into
maybe
each other.
I'm just oblivious. I did not get that vibe, but I just thought it was two friends.
It's there. It's
yeah.
Every movie has queer subtext for those with the eyes to see.
True.
Yeah.
True.
I guess I just don't, unless they're just like fucking
Who's our
heated
son
rivalry.
in McFarland, USA? We'll find out.
Oh, we'll get to that.
All right, Avery, what's your rating? Big moment. Is it a 10?
Well, close.
Oh.
If I watched it a second time, I see myself giving it a 10.
Whoa,
I do have it as a 9.5.
What's stopping you?
I don't know. That's my abstract. I don't know.
There we go.
I'm just saying, if I watch it again, I do see myself.
Did it
giving
make you
a
cry
10.
or make you sad?
I did cry.
You cried?
Well, I got
Okay.
teary-eyed at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not when he died, but like the whole when he
like,
walks out.
I cried watching McFarland USA.
Okay.
No, I'm really glad that I'm glad you enjoyed it, Avery. That makes me happy. But
That's good.
Alex, what about you?
I gave it like a solid 8 out of 10.
Hell yeah, I will take that.
Yeah. I also don't really have a good reason for not going higher. Like, just something about it, I'm like, everything it's doing is kind of working for me, but it's not going kind of to that next level of like, oh my god, I love this. I'm just like, you know what, for what it is, it's really good, but I'm just not like really profoundly connecting with it.
I feel like that's for me like my kind of level between like 10s and like 9s and 8s. Like I completely get that. Where like sometimes it's like it feels like everything's working, but like there's something that's just stopping it. So
I think maybe it's just not enough Robin Williams.
That's fair.
Maybe. I don't know.
I love Robin
and just
Williams.
the fact that the boys, when they're together at like the actual Dead Poet Society, like the concept of that is really interesting, and what it's saying about like their dynamic as young men, but those scenes themselves I'm not like totally into.
That's fair.
You know, like just something about the movie isn't fully getting me there, but I do like it a lot.
No,
You
that's
actually
valid.
bring up a good point. I think those cave scenes could have been, I don't know, maybe we needed more to happen in there, but like, I don't know. I feel like we don't spend enough time there or something, but
I feel like a lot of things we don't really spend enough time on.
Yeah.
That's
Like the whole subplot with the guy who has a crush on.
Yeah.
That's a bit.
I don't like any of that.
I don't know about that.
There's a lot of stuff like that I'm just not really into.
Yeah.
And like Neil with the play, like I would like to see more of that. We get kind of none of it until the end.
That's fair.
And for such an important plot point, like that leading to him killing himself, like I kind of want more of that.
Yeah, that should have been
Yeah.
like a main thing in the movie, I think. But,
Yeah.
No, those are all valid points.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm between like an 8 and a 9, but I think I lean more towards a 9, I think.
That's fair.
Nice. I, of course, have this out of 10. Because
Shocker.
Yeah. We're all
What?
surprised.
Wait, do you happen
Yeah.
to be a woman by any chance?
I'm a film bro. My top 4 are Interstellar, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood,
Oh, yeah. Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction,
Fight
and
Club.
Joker, the movie Joker.
Joker.
and no. Well,
Rocky.
The Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, yeah, the Wolf
Yeah.
of Wall, that's a good one. God.
And
all
a
those
Jake
movies.
Gyllenhaal movie.
Yeah, Nightcrawler.
Hey man, Nightcrawler's
It
good.
is a really good
That's a
movie.
good movie.
Is he in like a, Red Flag film bro movie?
He's in Spider-Man.
People call Donnie Darko one, but
Brothers.
brother, that's not a real movie. That doesn't matter. I don't
That's
know.
true.
I liked it.
Are you asking if Jake Gyllenhaal is in a non-film bro movie?
In
No,
a,
if
like,
he's in
red
like
flag.
a red flag film.
I think
like a Fight
Nightcrawler
Club
is the
type
closest
thing.
it gets.
Anyways.
I think Nightcrawler is the closest we get to a red flag movie.
He's in a bunch of I feel like he. Okay, maybe I just don't like him.
Demolition.
Maybe I just.
You don't
feel
like Jake Gyllenhaal?
He just feels like
I don't think he's in any like big red
I
flag
feel bad
movies.
saying this, but he just looks really like greasy.
Sure.
I kind of get what you mean.
Like it's just
No,
fair.
hold on. Okay, hold on. Nightcrawler's definitely
we
a
do
red
not
flag
need
movie.
Yeah.
to talk about Jake
It
Gyllenhaal.
100%
We
is.
can talk about McFarland.
And like it doesn't
USA.
make it a lesser movie. Like The Wolf of Wall Street's a 5-star movie, but like Nightcrawler's definitely a red flag movie.
I guess.
I don't know.
Anyway,
Maybe I just don't like Jake Gyllenhaal.
I
He
think
is in
he's
like
just
Brokeback
so-
Mountain, so like he's in some.
Yeah, he does. He's
Real
gay in
movies.
that
I
one.
think he's just so explicitly unlikable in Nightcrawler that I don't see it being like co-opted by the right in the way that they co-opt like Wolf of Wall Street and
Okay, sure.
Fight Club.
Sure.
Because in those
That's
movies,
fair.
like Jordan Belfort in Wolf of Wall Street is like on the surface a likable guy.
Yeah.
Right? He's not like some greasy loser who has like bug eyes. Like he's like a hot guy in a suit who like does cocaine.
Yeah.
Like that's the type of guy that like
God,
a
that's
conservative
so
yeah, it's the type of guy a conservative would look up to. No one's
Yeah.
looking up to Jake
Yeah, it's the
Gyllenhaal and
yacht.
Nightcrawler.
Yeah, he's
you
like,
know?
yeah.
Anyways, moving on to.
McFarland USA. Did no one like this movie? I love this movie.
I
went-
like it. It's a movie. I
You
did,
all
I did watch
exhaled
it.
when
I will
I-
say this is another movie where you kind of can't hate it. Like there's nothing
Yeah.
to despise about it. It's just
Okay.
fine. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't hate
I-
this movie. Like,
Okay, you all exhaled. I was like, oh, God.
Well, it's just because I have nothing to say about it. It's just like
That's-
the same as every other sports movie.
But it's so good.
Where is McFarland? I'm sorry, maybe I missed
It's
it.
in
It's in
California.
USA.
This is true. It is in
Whoa.
USA.
It's California, like
California.
near
California.
San Jose.
Okay.
Yeah,
Kevin Costner.
I'll sum up the movie.
I will say I don't think I've seen many Kevin Costner movies, but I love Kevin Costner in this. Kevin Costner is great.
We
Kevin
love
Costner.
him. He's at his
I like
What
Kevin
a
Costner,
guy.
man. Also, apparently he's won 2 Oscars, but I don't know for
He
what.
has?
He has?
Apparently.
Has
he?
it?
I would assume probably Dances with Wolves. Right? Field of Dreams, mate. No, Field of Dreams. Because that Field of Dreams was another baseball movie with Kevin Costner, where it was nominated for Best Picture the same year as Dead Poets Society.
Crazy.
And I'm pretty sure that both Kevin Costner and Robin Williams lost to Daniel Day-Lewis in My Left Foot.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
So,
Okay, so Kevin Costner won 2 awards for the same movie, Dances with Wolves.
Yeah,
He won
thought so.
Best Picture as a producer and then Best Director. He
That's
directed the
kind of
movie.
crazy.
he didn't win for actor?
I think I've only know him in this. Like, I haven't seen Man of Steel. I haven't seen...
I do know him as Superman's dad in Man of Steel.
Right, he does the
Superman.
hand.
Right. He's like, you should not be Superman, or I'm gonna kill myself. And then he does.
He kills himself.
Actually?
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh.
Because there's like a tornado, and Superman's like, I'll save you, Dad. And he's like, no, don't save me. And then he gets killed by the tornado.
Also, we were talking about fake. We were talking
he doesn't want people to see him being Superman.
Oh, okay. I thought it was
Which makes no sense.
Okay.
Like,
It makes no fucking
sense.
sense.
It's okay.
Because he could have easily saved him without, like, using his powers, basically. Just, like, run over and be an anchor for him.
We were talking about fake
I mean.
movies, and Kevin Costner's been in so many fucking fake movies.
He is in, speaking of sports movies, and speaking of baseball movies, aside from Field of Dreams, he is in For Love of the Game, which is a baseball movie that I saw only because it's directed by Sam Raimi.
Whoa.
And the only reason any human being should watch that movie is if you're trying to do, like, a Sam Raimi completionist run. Otherwise,
I'm tempted
it is...
to watch it. Watch me love it.
No, you won't like it.
It's a sports movie, though.
There's no sports in it. It's the whole movie. It's him. He's playing his last game before he retires, and it's like he's having flashbacks to like his relationship with his wife, and like just their relationship falling apart. It's so boring. It's horribly boring. But like the actual baseball stuff is bullshit in that movie. It's so bad.
The cast, though, we have Brian Cox, J.K. Simmons, John C. Reilly's in the movie.
It is true. I hate that movie.
Sam Raimi's also made many fake movies.
You know what?
That was during his period of just making fake movies.
Okay,
no, I want to talk about Sam Raimi.
No!
Because he had a period in the 90s where he was making fake studio movies to prove that he could make actual movies and not just like Evil Dead shit where it's like him and some friends in the woods like guerrilla style filmmaking. So he made like For Love of the Game and The Gift and all these kind of bullshit studio movies, which, you know, sucks like at the time for people who loved Sam Raimi for Evil Dead, but, you know, proving that he can work in the studio system is kind of responsible for him getting the Spider-Man gig.
Which were amazing.
They were like, yeah, we can trust
great
you.
movies, the first two, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he made his masterpiece in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
True.
Anyway, McFarland USA.
So back to Sam Raimi.
No!
Directed by...
Do you hate this movie that much?
No, I don't hate it. I just don't have anything to say about it.
McFarland USA is directing... Oh, it's a female director, which I didn't know.
Oh. Yes, queen.
And she also directed Mulan, the Mulan movie.
Oh.
She also directed The Mother, starring Jennifer Lopez.
Let's talk about the Mulan live action.
No! Okay.
It
is bad. Does anyone want to summarize McFarland USA?
I can summarize it if you'd like.
Yes, Sam. I would love for you to.
There is this...
Wait, where does this movie take place, first of all?
I don't remember, guys. Can you help me out? I can't remember. Okay. This movie takes place in McFarland, California, USA. If you couldn't tell by
the title.
Sorry. And there's Jim White, which
Jim
is
White's
like
the real name of
Jim
I love
White.
that's his name because they keep calling him White.
Yeah.
They kept forgetting that's his name. I thought they were just calling him White.
He moves with his family to McFarland, USA.
Yeah.
And he becomes the...
I'm sorry.
How many times can we say McFarland
Jesus
USA?
Christ.
Does it not sound like a McDonald's meal or like a McDonald's character? Does it not?
Can we lock in for my movies
meal.
for what?
Jesus Christ.
We'll talk about the Film Bro movie for an hour, then my movies get 10 minutes. It's so unfair. This is a movie I really like, guys. Can we lock in for once?
It was a genuine...
McDonald's. Okay, let's move on.
Ronald McFarland. Anyway.
Okay. So Jim White, he's like a coach for a bunch of different like football teams and stuff, but he keeps assaulting his he keeps yelling at like verbally.
He keeps throwing like shoes at his players and they get like fucking cuts all over their face.
He gets fired from like the place that he goes. So him and his family move to McFarland because it's cheaper and like, you know, he gets to get a job there.
Yeah.
And so he tries, you know, he starts coaching the team, but like slowly they really kind of suck at football. That's what he realizes. But what he notices is all of the members of like, you know, or like a bunch of the students are really fast runners, and he's like, oh, what if we started a cross country team? And so he kind of like gathers a bunch of the guys and like, you know,
Alex starts like he wants to kill himself.
So I'm just laughing because the reason he finds out they're fast runners is because they're too poor to afford cars, so they have to run home every day.
That's also true. Like the whole thing.
What's funny?
I don't know. It's just funny.
It's a sad reality.
The whole thing is that, you know,
their living conditions.
Yeah.
What's funny about that?
I don't know, man.
Like,
Alex
this
hates
is
poor
based off
people.
of a true story.
Yeah.
Too, people.
It is, yeah.
say that.
White's fucking real.
That's crazy.
Which is insane.
That's his real name.
Anyway, yeah, continue.
Like the whole thing with the movie is that, you know, a lot of these boys aren't living in ideal circumstances, or like there's like these three brothers who are like working for their dad as like pickers, like picking a bunch of vegetables and like different crops and stuff for him, and so, you know, they kind of have to balance that. And there's also, what's his name, Thomas, who's like dad has to like leave a lot for multiple different jobs and stuff, and they, despite that, they, you know, keep running, and they end up getting really good, and they're super fast, and then they go to the state finals, and they win, and yay! Oh, and also Jim White forgets his daughter's birthday. And
fuck that guy.
Fuck Jim White.
And she's
honestly.
like upset at him for a bit, but then they throw her a quinceañera, which she enjoys.
Yeah.
And
then they get like assaulted or something, right?
Well, like, yeah.
Yeah, something happens.
Yeah.
I was excited to see that the youngest daughter is played by Elsie Fisher.
Whoa!
Yeah. You didn't recognize her?
No, I didn't.
I immediately was like, "That's Elsie Fisher."
That's crazy.
I don't know who that is.
She was in 8th grade.
I feel like
I
she's...
want to see that.
She had a Discord server that I was in for a while.
Whoa!
It was called Elsie Land.
Whoa.
I feel like she doesn't show up that much in the movie, though.
No, I mean, she's like the youngest daughter. It's
Yeah.
more about the oldest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jim White. Okay, so.
I feel like...
Okay, okay.
I'm just gonna go on a tangent. You go first.
I feel like the one thing... Like, if we're talking about, like, expectations and stuff...
Okay.
I feel like the one thing with sports movies is that they do have a tendency to follow the same type of beats.
Yeah.
Where it's like you kind of know they're going to succeed in the end, or they're going to...
Well,
some sort of...
Coach Carter, they
True.
don't do that.
But you know that it's gonna, like... I feel like there's no sports movies that end up, like, genuinely bad. Like, I feel like it's like, oh, we learned something from this experience type thing, if it's not them, like, winning the
Unless
big
it's
thing.
Murdy Supreme.
That's a sports movie.
Oh
that's
God.
a sports movie.
Yes,
No,
but
you're
there is the same formula. But
They-
I think it's still a good
They
formula,
always
and I love
succeed even when they lose. I know what you mean.
Yeah, that
Well,
type of thing.
If you watched Friday Night Lights, that is not the case. But
I've heard that movie is like low-key racist, by the way. No? I've heard that, like, the whole, like, it hinges on them beating a team named Black or something. And they're like, we gotta beat the Blacks or something. I swear to God, is that not real?
I mean...
Well, by that logic, this movie is like, we fucking love the whites.
Right, no, yeah. The white guy saving the Mexican team, you know.
There is a little bit of, like, kind of a white savior thing going on.
There is, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I
It's
can
not-
criticize that, because it is, like, a real story.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
like,
he was the white savior in real life.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah.
like, it's not
So
the
it's,
movie's
like,
fault.
less of, like, you know, it's there, but it's not something that's, like, you know...
Yeah.
They're like, oh, they need the white guy to come and save the day type thing. It's
Right,
just, like...
they didn't ask for him to come.
Yeah. It's
You know,
just
he was just kind of there.
circumstance.
Yeah.
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 And he
But
also,
no,
like, was kind of explicitly, like, in the narrative, like, the white savior. Like he was exploiting them. Like, that very much was a thing he was doing and open about doing.
Yeah.
You know? But that's, like, the plot of the movie.
So it's like, yeah. It's kind of...
At least they acknowledge that.
Yeah.
He didn't, like, genuinely care about the track team at first, you know?
But then he learned about the community and the family, and he had a change of heart. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Okay, what do you like about this movie?
Let me. Okay, so I've seen a lot of sports movies, and this is in my top 3.
What is your top 3?
Is it your
My
top 3?
Sports movies.
Yeah, that's
Coach
crazy.
Carter is number... Well, what's yours? Why criticize this one?
I just feel like there's got to be better ones.
Coach Carter, Friday Night Lights, and McFarland USA in that order. Really? My top 3. Yeah.
I don't have to think about it, actually.
Okay. Well, while you do that, the thing about this movie that I think separates it from other sports movies that I've seen is that it's not just a sports movie in a degree. It feels like a movie with like an undertone of sports, whereas other sports movies are like very primarily sport focused, if you know what I mean. And it's about the team. You don't learn about the players as individuals, the exception being Coach Carter, which is why I like that one as well. So I do like this movie for that reason, because you learn about the individual struggles of all the different boys and how they kind of came together. And then there's other themes of wealth, community, family, the importance of that, and how sports are like a privilege.
I think the whole community feel and the way they like represent, like the whole Mexican culture thing is actually kind of cool. Yeah. I think like, the birthday scene, the dinner scenes at the dinner table, stuff like that. Like I think that's good representations of like community and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like to me, like it just because the only other sports movie recommended to us is Coach Carter, it felt so similar.
They are similar.
I don't actually fully agree with that.
Do you not?
No, I think
like the whole showing each character's like struggle and then them overcoming it. And,
I mean that, but I feel like Coach Carter is more like Dead Poets Society, where it's the inspiring coach who like has to get this team in shape. And this movie is kind of the opposite, where he doesn't really care at first and they inspire him to be better. It's kind of the reverse of Coach Carter in that way.
But it's like, I compare it to superhero movies because it's the same beats, Like I'm not saying it's fair, but I still love it because I love sports movies.
I just feel like that aside, it doesn't do that much different, but it doesn't need to be a good movie. Yeah. I don't know. Have you seen Next Goal Wins? It's like the same movie.
That's a football, soccer movie.
Yeah. Right? I have not seen that.
Where it's like Michael Fassbender goes to some like poor neighborhood and he has to get the team in shape. It's like literally the exact same movie.
Oh.
So that's what I was thinking about when I saw McFarland USA.
And that's your favorite sports movie?
No, I hate that movie. I like this movie better than Next Goal Wins.
Yeah!
I'm looking at a list of sports movies now. I like I, Tonya. I like A League of Their Own.
Okay.
Have you seen A League of Their Own? That's a good baseball movie about like an all-women's team. It has Gina Davis. I love Gina Davis and Tom Hanks. I do like Eddie the Eagle.
Okay. That's a good movie.
I think my favorite sports movie, it isn't even like a narrative movie really, but it's kind of like a documentary. It's the Senna documentary of the F1 driver Senna. I think that's really like...
That documentary is really good.
It's really good, and it breaks like normal documentary conventions. Like it's kind of, it feels like a narrative like movie. It's insane.
It uses all like
F1 clips.
Yeah. Like it's not, none of it is actually kind of like staged. They just kind of edited it together, sometimes added some narration over it.
And it's insane because it feels like you're watching scenes from like the F1 movie.
Yeah, like it's so, that's a really good.
No, that's a good.
That's really good.
Sports thing. But no, I did, you know what? I did enjoy, like I think McFarland USA is cool. I pin it all to like Kevin Costner. I think he made me really like the movie. I don't know, something about him. Like he's just like, I really like Kevin Costner.
He does like a coach well. He's like he plays that character well.
And he's played it like a million times apparently.
Yeah,
so
he's an expert.
He keeps doing it. Also, I was not, when I like first like watched this and like, kind of just went into it blind. This is a Disney movie.
It is a Disney movie.
It is a Disney movie.
I was like, what?
Yeah!
I did not, I mean, I could have watched this and I would have not expected this to be a Disney movie, but it's a Disney movie.
Disney has some good like triumphant sports movies.
Yeah.
They do that, yeah.
I think like sports movies are a really interesting genre because when you look at sports, just like as a thing, it's so strange. Like, it's like, you're playing a game. Like, you're literally just playing a game.
Yeah.
But it's like, for some people, like, this is like, like, it's interesting the way that these films put meaning into that. Where it's like, it's not just, like, running. Or it's not just, like, kicking a ball. Which, like,
more.
Which, I mean, I feel like that is why some of these tend to be repetitive. Because it kind of is that type of thing where it's just like, it's not actually about the sport.
Yeah.
It's about the people playing the sport.
You know what? Go ahead.
It's the one, what does he say in Dead Poet Society? It's the one place where we get pushed by other people. What's the line? This is a scene when they're playing like ball outside, like soccer. Oh. And Robin Williams says, sports are the one place where you get pushed by other people.
Like, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I did like that.
It's like a community thing.
Yeah. Like, I feel like sports in general are so... They're just very strange.
I mean, sports represent, community and like thriving as like as a whole. Yeah. Because sports is like the one thing that unites like everyone. Like, if you're in a particular city, you're gonna support the city's team. You're gonna go to their games and stuff like that. Like, it creates the whole like community feel type of thing.
That I love
and one thing I like about this movie is like you
see it.
You see the community, but it's also like the sport itself, which is like like running, like cross country, racing and stuff like that. Is something that they were already doing, like with the fields and stuff, and they have to use that thing anyway, and they use that, like, you know what I'm...
I know what you mean.
They
it's like an extension of themselves.
And I think it's cool for a sports movie to do that. Like, a movie like Coach Carter doesn't really do it in the same way, I don't think. No. Or like any other sports movie I've seen, so I think...
Like, there's no reason it had to be basketball in that movie. Yeah. But this movie, the fact that it's running feels so specific.
Yeah.
Actually... I mean, I guess I could technically put this in kind of the connections, but I feel like sports and art really aren't that far off of each other in a certain way, where it's like, when you look at these kind of, I mean this more specifically about like something like dance, which is kind of like a mix of both in a way, where it's like you're doing these movements, you're going through these motions, and like it seems kind of meaningless, but you kind of create that meaning. And it's like, I feel like it's a bit different because sports is like also like, I mean, it's kind of like movies. Like, it's like, it's entertainment, but it also has some sort of meaning. Maybe more so for sports, it's meaning for the players themselves rather than the people watching the sports.
There is meaning for the people watching.
Yeah, like it's like community. It's like, I feel like they're very different, but they have some of the same kind of...
Yeah.
Well, like, for sports, it's more the act of spectatorship rather than like what's actually communicated through the act itself.
There's also a more tangible like thing of sports, and like if you're from a country that isn't like super like rich or whatever, like a more third world country, and your country performs really well in a particular sport, it's gonna like really like put your country out there, like in a more tangible sense. It gives you more like opportunities, more revenue, that type of thing. But also just as a community, you feel more connected. Like sports definitely like it's a big like thing.
I will say, comparing, because I used to play basketball, but comparing like basketball to acting, you do get in this like a similar zone of you kind of just like lock in. So like mentally it's kind of the same, but I don't know if
I know what you mean.
Yeah. So
would you say like something like basketball requires more concentration compared to acting, or?
Depends. You just kind of get into like a flow state.
Yeah, like when I did dance, and I feel like this is still an ongoing like thing, maybe less so now, but like there was always this discourse about whether dance or like cheer is considered a sport, which in my opinion it is. Yeah. But it's like, I don't know, it's these kind of like abstract like rules that are kind of attached to it. But I feel like they are different, but they're not that far off from each other, like kind of for what they do about the people that do them, and the like it's different for the people that are watching it, but it has that own type of meaning that if like say like an alien was like looking and being like, looking at a sports game, they'd be like, what the hell are they doing? Same thing if like they saw like a painting, they'd be like, what? But it's like you kind of build that meaning in it, right? Sure. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking about bullshit. I actually
respect cheer the most out of most sports, because what they do is actually crazy. Like competitive cheer.
Respect what?
Cheerleading.
Okay.
I actually think it's one of the most like
insane
respectable sports. But yeah. Anyways, back to McFarland. Yeah. If that's a-okay. One of the main themes in McFarland is that McFarland isn't a very wealthy town, and the kids that eventually go on the cross country team aren't the wealthiest kids. And I think this goes into sports is a privilege, and we kind of forget that. So I think in this movie you kind of do really see how they appreciate it. I don't know, I'm not wording this right, but like for when they qualify for state, usually typically they cheer and whatnot, but instead the team, they kind of get down, just kind of thank the Lord and all that.
I
like,
do really
oh my
like
God,
that.
I can't believe we're here. I can't believe we're doing this. Because the one thing that Coach White said is like, this is the one time where like these boys could actually win at something, whereas they've kind of been, I don't want to say losing, but they are in a very not wealthy home, working all day since they were 10 in these fields for hours, which is not a, I would want to die if I had to do that. That would be awful.
And I will say, talking about like sport movie cliches, at some point in the movie, some racers like leave the team, and the reason they do that is because their dad is like, oh, they don't have time to work, if they're like always practicing and stuff. And I think that's a nice way. And I mean, the movie still does the whole cliche of like, oh, I don't know, this it's not going to go anywhere. I'm leaving the team. I'm walking away. They do this in Coach Carter. They do this in this movie. But like, I think
in every sports movie.
It's for different reasons.
But
it's like not because they want to.
It's a trope of the genre. It's fine.
It's a trope. But like, I think I like the fact that in this movie, the second time they do it, it's because like, oh, the dad needs them for like work and stuff. Like, I think that's like a real. I do
like that the coach then works on the field, because then you get to insight. One of my favorite scenes of the movie is actually when Jim, it's his daughter's birthday, and he forgets to bring the cake, and he shows up home, and then there's like a line where the wife is like, you forgot the cake, you fool. And then he's like, well, if like not having a cake is the worst thing she has to go through, she's above like everyone else in this town. And I'm like, that's like, it's about privilege.
I don't agree with that. Because it's not about the cake. Like,
no, but it's about like privilege, you could say.
No, but it's about like her dad not being there, and that's something that the other people in the town do have. They do have family, and he's kind of neglecting his family. So I don't agree with him when he says that like, oh, she's better than everyone else because like, oh, she didn't get a cake. Like, oh, that's your worst problem.
There's also it.
But the actual problem
it up later.
I mean, later, yeah, but at the time, like, the problem isn't that, like, oh, this spoiled brat doesn't get a cake, what the fuck? It's that, like, she doesn't have that connection with her father, but everyone else has that.
Yeah, like,
so I don't think she's privileged in that specific sense.
Yeah, like, it's not something where, like, because he says that, but, like, the whole thing is, like, they had bought a cake. He just needed to go pick it up, but he forgot to pick it up. And so, like, that's why she's upset. It's like, oh, it's not that she doesn't have a cake, but it's, like, her dad didn't,
forgot about
yeah. And it's like, oh.
Yeah. Speaking of favorite scenes, what do you think of Danny Diaz?
I fucking love Danny Diaz, dude. Oh my fucking god, dude. Oh my god. Core memory. Here's one of my the first time I ever watched this movie was middle school in English class. My English teacher played this for no particular reason. I just don't think she had. When did this come
out? It was that
2015.
Oh.
I just don't think she had lessons planned. Anyways, the ending scene, there's a scene, okay, they're at state, and this one guy kind of, like, uses all of his energy at the beginning of the race, and then, the guys finish, and the coach is like, oh no, the guy's not gonna come, we're not gonna make it. But then you see Danny fucking Diaz around the corner, and a core memory is my 7th grade class. As soon as he goes running, everyone stood up screaming, cheering on Danny, to the point where the teacher next door came into the class and was like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh my god.
Anyways, we love Danny Diaz. If you don't cry during that scene, you have no heart. I hope you all felt something.
I didn't cry.
I did.
I definitely felt like, oh yay, I'm glad.
Because everyone because it's so good. Tears of joy. Okay. Everyone underestimated Danny Diaz. He was. We need 7 players, not 6 players. And Danny Diaz. Well, he showed them.
He did.
We fucking love Danny Diaz.
That's real.
I will say one other thing about this movie that I think is different from other sports movies is that there is a lot of comedy aspects to this movie. I found.
Is there?
Yeah.
Like what?
With the
where he literally collapses afterwards, or when he like goes to like eat the food in the first race. Do you guys not know what I'm talking about?
I know what you mean, but I didn't like. It wasn't like a
comedian. Or when he's like,
I don't think
he's
Kevin
there
Costner
to the
is very
dad.
funny.
Hey.
Anyways, I thought it's a more lighthearted movie, I guess you could say, than more.
Is it
more,
okay,
there's some serious like topics. Don't get me wrong, but it's a more like a family, like you know what I'm trying to say.
I know it's a Disney movie, and I guess it is kind of lighthearted. But I wish, if anything, it was more like brutal and like out there.
Other
if you're gonna tell a story
like
this about like a violent town or like a bad poor neighborhood.
Apparently there's like gang violence and it just kind of happens.
They don't really show it. Like if you want to tell the story and you're doing a fine job, like go all the way and that'd be
Like there's a scene where like they get attacked by a gang or something.
That's never.
And the car just kind of comes around the corner. And they're like, oh no, and I genuinely had no idea what was going on.
Right. Like they
didn't establish at all that there was conflict with like some gang. It just kind of happens.
Yeah, I feel like they should have done more with that. But I get it's a Disney movie. You can't do all of that. But I get it, so it's fine. Oh, you know what? Jim White is in the movie. The real Jim White.
They all are.
Right at the
end.
I do really like
that.
Army. Yeah.
There was one guy
that was a cool scene.
Yeah.
I like that.
No, that was.
And all the other players on the team.
Jim White still lives in McFarland, USA.
He still lives in McFarland, and they won the state like 9 times.
He was about to go to Palo Alto, and he said no. Staying in McFarland, USA.
And all the players went to colleges and universities, which I think is really great.
Except the one guy.
Except for the one guy.
Yeah, one guy went to jail.
Still,
who was that? I don't even know who that one was.
That was the I don't know his name, but he's like the dump, like he's lifting weights and
But in comparison to previously, they probably wouldn't have done that.
Right, because none of their relatives had a chance to do that.
So it just goes to show the
I do
good
like
and the positive that comes from
that
sports.
It wasn't just about sports, but like, hey, if you do well in this sport, like there's other things you can do. You can go to college, you can help your family out more if you have a degree. And the one guy, like his dad's like, no, you put that book down and do important shit. Go out in the fields, man. I do like that was an interesting conflict.
Avery, is there anything else you want to bring up?
Yeah, your next 10 points you'd like to make.
We've covered the main ones. I just think it's a great movie.
The score of this movie is so strange because there's parts where it's like good, like it's good, but then it's so like out, like it's just all over the place.
It's the composer of City of God.
Really?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was gonna say I actually like the music.
I like parts of it, but it's so weird.
It is just kind of like Disney movie.
It's very like Hallmarky sound. I don't know.
That's
man.
fair.
I don't know. But yeah. I'm trying to think.
I like the scene where they run on the beach. That's a good scene.
Oh, you know what I like? And I like it when movies do this. I like it when shows do this. I like when shows and movies try and establish a nice sense of like a town or a place where like you're watching it and you almost know, like if they say, hey, I'm going to the corner store, you know where it is, Like, it's almost like you can visualize the entire town in your head, like movies like, I can't think of any movies that do this for some reason.
Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks does
Do the Right Thing.
Right, okay, Do the Right Thing does that perfectly.
That's like the perfect
Twin Peaks
example.
is like the prime example of this, but I think this movie does it decently well.
It's up there with Do the Right Thing and Twin Peaks.
In terms of establishing locations, McFarland USA does indeed establish McFarland USA very well.
Whoa.
I think.
Did they shoot this in McFarland USA?
I hope so.
I don't know.
It'd be weird if they didn't.
Also, apparently, I saw this on Wikipedia, but when Jim White went to McFarland USA, first of all, he has no history of like getting fired or like attacking students. Like they made that just part of the movie.
Not?
They made up a story about him abusing students.
Apparently, the real story is that he
up.
graduated from university and then he just moved to McFarland USA. And at the time, it was like a predominantly white town. Like there weren't that many like Hispanic or like Mexican people there.
Huh.
That's like the real story.
Interesting.
It is interesting. I don't know if I like that.
Yeah. That's like the real story.
Huh.
And also another thing Wikipedia points out is that in real life, Danny Diaz wasn't like an overweight person. He's just a normal guy who just didn't run that fast. Yeah.
That's one thing
Yeah.
that as much as I feel like I liked that ending part when it's like, oh, redemption, the underdogs,
That's not Danny Diaz.
But I did not like the fact that they kept on bringing up his weight all the time, and I was kind of like the butt of the joke at some part.
It'd be cool if he wasn't overweight and like he was just a slow runner. I think that'd be a lot more interesting. Maybe he has like a bad foot or something.
I think push himself though.
Yeah, I think that is something that happens in sport where there is somebody who they're like, oh, you need to lose weight and stuff, but it feels like they didn't choose that as an interesting aspect of it, or as an additional thing to explore, but more so just as something to joke about.
Character trait.
Yeah.
It's not that the players kind of mock him for it, but the coach doesn't.
Oh, you know what? I will say there's a scene where they're like training, and at the end of it, when he comes in last, the coach is like, you know what, you didn't stop, you kept going, that type of thing. So
and you see him progress. The first time he's like, last by a lot. Then he almost beats one guy. Then he's like, beating some people. Then he's the 5th spot runner, baby.
Yeah, like I did like the kind of underdog.
It'd be cool if they lost. That'd be cool.
No.
Yeah.
Because
it's an interesting story.
I would
what
say
they won
in most
was
cases,
friendship.
yes, which is why I like Coach Carter. But this story, I mean,
to be fair, they did win in real life.
Yeah.
So. I know.
But I feel like they have to win because if they lose, then it's just like,
Marty Supreme doesn't win.
Well, that's different.
He does win.
Right. Overall ratings.
Well, okay, you give this a 10.
I fucking love this movie.
Crazy, man.
I love sports movies. If you want me to like a movie, recommend a sports movie.
If Dead Poet Society was about football, would you like it more?
Honest to God. I mean, listen, I liked both. I gave Dead Poet Society a pretty high score.
You did.
I'm really happy about that.
The movies that you guys have made me watch, it's my favorite thus far.
Oh, it's crazy you didn't like Eyes Wide Shut. No.
Have you not given 10 stars to any movies we've recommended?
I thought she did for Arrival, but maybe not.
I think I gave that a 9.
She gave Arrival a 9.
I think I
Truman
say
Show 9.
I'm has it? Well,
what about 12 Angry Men?
She did not give that a 10.
No, I don't give that.
I think it was a 7.
Listen, this Dead Poet Society is like the closest. Part 2. Oh fuck. The Dead Poet Society is you could make it a 10. That's as close of a 10 as you're gonna get. Yeah.
Alex, what did you rate this?
I think I thought going in that I would give it a 6 out of 10 because it's the most 6 out of 10 movie ever just by the look of it, and yeah, it is. It's a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
I thought you were about to say, but it's actually
it's a 2.
No,
I was waiting for a 2.
It is just the most 6. Maybe a 5, but
no, we're sticking with a 6. Mm-hmm. You liked it. That's what I'm getting at.
It was a fine watch. I didn't hate it.
I also give it a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
Maybe if I'm really feeling sporty someday, I'll give it a 7. But no, it's a 6.
Yeah.
I will say extra half star for Kevin Costner. That's why it's a 6. I really enjoyed Kevin Costner in this movie. I don't know why.
You were such a big.
I don't know why. He reminds me of Will Arnett and Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah. He's a big Batman v Superman fan.
I love it. Why did you say that name?
Have you seen Horizon Part 1?
Is that the cowboy movie thing? Yeah, no, I haven't seen it. Isn't he investing all of his money into this?
Part 2 is done and ready to go. It's just not out.
Why?
There were some allegations that came out of something on set or whatever. I don't even remember, but there's something that prevented it from being released.
Interesting. No, he's in his Western era right now.
He's in his Western era. Yeah.
Sam?
I'll give this a 6, but honestly, I could see it kind of in between a 6 and a 7.
Oh!
So, yeah. That's what I would give.
Wait, so what's your final rating then?
7.
6.5.
Okay.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll happily take that. So you all liked the movie.
Yeah, I didn't have a bad time watching it.
If you want to recommend a movie that we give a positive rating to, it's kind of tough to hate many sports movies. Most of them are just fine.
And they probably resonate more with me than you guys because I played sports.
Exactly.
But I highly doubt you'll recommend a sports movie that we're this fucking sucks 3 out of 10. Most of them are a 5 at least.
Because they're all pretty much the same movie. But,
there's some exceptionally bad ones, but not really. For love of the game.
Well, next sports movie is gonna be Friday Night Lights.
Can we do that in 2 years? And just move out of the sports movie?
Listen, we've only done 2 sports movies.
I know.
God damn, we've done
3. We did Marty Supreme.
Oh, that was a sports movie. That was a sports movie.
Fuck yeah, man.
Anyways, connections.
Do you look at Marty Supreme as a sports movie? No.
It is. It's objectively a sports movie.
There is some ping pong in there, but
that's a sport. It's a sport.
Okay. Do you consider dance and cheerleading more of a sport or ping pong?
What the? Hold on. Are you saying ping pong's not a sport?
It's barely a sport.
What? Both sports.
Okay, this is crazy. I thought you hated Marty Supreme because, like, whatever.
I mean, I also hate Marty Supreme because I just don't like the plot.
I know, but I thought you were calling it not a sports movie because it's not predominantly.
It's not a sport. No, well, that as well.
Is it because
but
ping pong's just not a sport?
That's crazy.
Isn't it called cheerleading a sport? And I agree it is, but then you should also say ping pong.
Ping pong
you don't
is
think table tennis is
a physical thing than whatever.
It doesn't have to be about.
Do you
think chess is a sport?
Like, God, no. Do you?
Well, it is a sport.
Oh
like,
my God.
how are you defining sport? Like by physical activity?
I feel like chess is more of a mental thing.
I agree that one's more debatable, but like ping pong still has like mechanical.
Right, yeah, ping pong's like a straight up sport,
but like a lower.
No, it's a sport. It's just a sport.
Out of the sport rankings, it's
no. You can say you don't like table tennis. That's fine. If you don't like table tennis, that's another thing. But it is a sport.
I just don't like Marty Supreme.
I thought you didn't like it because it's not about ping pong. But
no,
like,
well,
that's
I
crazy.
don't. Well, it's to me. It's not a sports movie. It's like there's an undertone.
I mean, it's
like okay, there's like what 4-ish ping pong.
Okay, it's not a sports movie to the extent of like
McFarland
McFarland USA.
That's the
but
thing.
like,
it's like it feels like in reality it wasn't really about the sport.
It's like a coming of age movie.
Scenes of him like chasing a dog. There is
literally.
ping pong.
There's more scenes of him just running down the street than there is.
Like. I feel like Marty Supreme is more of a cross-country fucking sports movie than a ping pong movie.
He should join McFarland.
Kevin Costner. If
He should join the Cougars.
Can you imagine McFarland, but then you just see Marty Supreme just running.
Timothy Chalamet just like running down the beach.
Yeah.
If Kevin Costner was around, he would have been like, "Hey man, you run really fast." Join my team.
Just appears.
Yeah.
Anyways, connections, brotherhood to a degree.
Yeah,
Communal.
group of guys, group of
coming of age.
There's like a older male mentor to them,
and
That's
they all
obvious
learn
one.
something at the end.
Yeah.
A connection I was gonna bring up earlier is like how like the dad pulls them out of like the cross country thing because like they have to work and that type of thing to help the family. Yeah. Is that in some way related to Neil's father being like, hey, no, you got to go to the military?
That's true. There's also
the father who doesn't want his son to follow his ambitions because he has, he has to follow what the family wants him to do. The expectation put onto him.
Right.
Yeah.
The other one I was going to bring up, we haven't really talked about this in our McFarland USA discussion, but both movies have a character that either attempts or succeeds to kill himself.
That's true.
That's true. Yeah, the bridge. Yeah, he's on the bridge.
Good old Tom.
Yeah. He's gonna jump off the bridge, and then Kevin Costner is like, okay, first of all, this isn't even gonna kill you. It's just gonna disable you. But also like,
it's a sad scene. Though.
You can't kill yourself. You have so much to live for, like being on my sports team to get me out of this shit ass town.
Well, no, that's not.
Yeah, it is.
No. He's like, you want it.
I will say something about that scene.
She has her head in her hands.
This is why. Never mind.
Avery is mad because you're right, but she just doesn't. She doesn't know how to tell you.
Like, no, it's more than that because he's like, do you want to do something beyond just like what's being held of you? Do you want to actually win?
Yeah, but at that point in the movie, like he still wants them to win so that he can get out of that town.
Yeah.
Like he does have an ulterior motive there.
I mean, yes and no.
I don't think he's that invested at that point in them doing well. I don't think he cares that much.
I think
not at that point.
Preferably he would like to not see children kill themselves. Like I agree with that, but I don't know. I feel like that was maybe a bit too early in the movie for it to like really land for me. But that doesn't matter. It's fine.
They both have moments where they lift someone up, like in
Danny Diaz.
Yeah, they lift up Danny Diaz at the end. But also, there's the part where they lift up Mr. Keating when they're
true.
Yeah. They have all red like outfits in that scene too, like the Cougars.
Yeah.
In McFarland USA, they have to run up the big hill, and then in Dead Poet Society, they have to get on top of the desk. They're both going on top of something.
No, that's not a fucking connection.
Yeah, it is.
You can't.
They both get on top of something.
They're standing.
If that's
on...
our connection,
they
both run.
No, it's like a
movies.
Metaphorical too. It's like
metaphorical.
They're standing on top of like these like huge hills. That is like what did he say it was? It was like almonds. Yeah. Like that they
pick. Yeah.
Yeah. So
but we're standing atop these people's labor.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
They're like, this is the one thing that's kind of like bothering them. And then the desk is like the place where it's like, oh, you have to sit down. You have to, listen to authority. You have to do this.
Yeah, he has that line where he's like, you're
up.
looking at the world from a different point of view when you're up here,
Exactly.
And that's them. Like, they're used to being at the bottom of the hill, like, putting the almonds into this big pile.
Yeah.
But now they're on top of it, and they're looking at things from a different point of view.
Exactly.
Damn, you actually, like, made a point with that.
You can get a point out of anything, really.
How dare you question me? I'm the best at connections.
Yeah, then we were just talking about art earlier, and that's what it means.
Yeah, exactly.
Disney, they didn't intend for that, but like we got that out of it. That's a good thing to get out of the movie.
My bad, guys. My bad.
Right?
Anyways, thanks.
It's all about the almonds.
Almonds.
Yeah, eat some almonds.
Would you guys Would you guys visit McFarland, USA?
No.
I
don't know why I would.
It's just like some town.
No, they went cross country 8 times.
So what am I supposed to do there?
What do you mean? Look at the school.
Can visit.
Why?
you can run up the almond hills.
Yeah.
Run through the fields.
Okay. Sure.
You can go to the corner store that's there.
The corner store. You could visit Jim White.
You could get stabbed.
Guys, reeled in fan meet and greet at McFarland,
USA. Oh, it's a great town name. I love that name.
Yeah.
So
Seth McFarland,
if you didn't know that's. If you didn't know, that's the place that the film is set in.
Right.
Oh, that's why they call it
Right.
Because that's the name of the town.
Okay.
Alright, thanks for listening, guys.
Heads.
Have a good life.
Have a good life. Visit McFarland USA. Stay fresh.
Stay fresh.